and welcome to Conquering Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with a lesson on partial seams. One of the subscribers has sent me this block, and she was struggling with its assembly, and it was because of the partial seam. Now, I'm going to go through this block how I would assemble it, and hopefully make this a little easier for you. But first, let's get to our shout out. Amanda and Myranda are at the Not Your Grandma, Your Granny's Quilt Show. Now, their YouTube channel is going to be in our show notes below. They don't know this shout out is coming, but they're a very bright, fresh, modern quilting team, and they are just, some of their stuff is just wonderful. So you got to go check them out. And if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button on them and tell them that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you. Now, the other thing you're going to find in the show notes are the cutting instructions, of course, that I created for this block, and our Facebook group, which is growing rapidly. Warm, welcoming crew. We have a virtual sewing room. We've got fabric exchanges. We've got questions and polls and sharing pictures, all the fun stuff. So if you're part of the Facebook community, you should try and join us and check us out, because there's lots going on there. A lot of people that are very talented in there. We also have the Zoom sew dates, which are usually the first Saturday of the month from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm either in Alberta or Arizona, and we're having a ball there. It's not just people from North America that show up. You have people from Europe and the UK, Australia. Sometimes there's South America. Sometimes there's New Zealand. We have a couple ladies from Indonesia. It's just a blast. It's very much an international group when we do hang out together. Now, I do speak for free over Zoom, right, to guilds or quilting groups. So I don't have a minimum, and I don't have a maximum, but I do it for free just to help the guilds out, because some of the guilds are struggling for funds and whatnot. And I'm having a lot of fun talking to those members. It is just such a blast. It is so inviting and warm and welcoming when I go and talk there, and they're interested in talking about using up their scraps. So it's been a lot of fun. So before we get on to any more prattling, come on in. Let's get to this sewing. Okay, we're at the sewing machine here. Now, this doesn't look like it's going to go together, but it does. So what we're going to do is work on one piece at a time, and we're going to do the easy stuff first. I know it's not normally what we do, but we're going to do the easy stuff because we can. Decided to change things up a little bit. So what I'm doing, I'm basically going through and I'm sewing all this stuff the same way. And then we're going to lay it right back out again. We'll start with the easy stuff sometimes. Okay, sometimes it's okay to start with the easy stuff. Now, if I was doing many of these blocks, I would lay them out one at a time, because it's kind of a woven block, so you have to have the same thing going on. Like, it only looks good because the green is matching with the green, the purples. Even though there's two different purples in here, they match. There's something there. Okay, so we're going to build this unit first. And we're going to press towards the dark. Right? So we're just going to put it back in order. It'll be fine. Just like that. There. So the only reason why this block works is it looks so cool is because of the, there's a stripe. So you'd have to watch, and you'd have to do one at a time. I would have to do one at a time for a while until I got more familiar with it. So I'm going to do the next piece here just because it makes for easy sewing. Okay, now, there we go. This block actually would be a lot of fun to play around with too, but I don't know how many of you guys like partial seams. There might be a riot on the Mount Scrapmore if there was too many partial seams. I like partial seams, actually, because, people try and put it together in their head, and sometimes you have to have that little trick in your arsenal, It's a good trick to have. Okay, there we go. And last one is this. right here. Line it up. Okay. I thought this was a pretty block. There. Okay, so flip to the dark. So the dark gets pressed in on itself. There we go, like that. And like that. Now you can see how it's going to come together, right? You can see it's all going to fit. It's not like, what has she done? There. There we go. Last up. So I know we haven't got to the, what are you doing with the partial seam yet? Okay, so I'm just going to take this. Now I'm going to make sure my dark stays pressed in, because otherwise, and that way the block will lie nice and flat. Okay. Now this well, you could sure have some fun using up little bits and bobs of fabric. Really nice. And all you need is basically your 1.5 inch strips, right? So now you notice this is where the partial seam is, right? That I think is where the problem lies. Now, the other thing is if your 1/4 inch seam's off just a hair and you want the bigger on the bottom, and just let the feed dogs do their job to make everything work, right? That's helpful. So we got everything off here now except where we have to do the partial seam. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this goes like this. There. Just finger press this out of the way real quick. Quick like a bunny. Oh, my thread has come out of. There we go. There. Okay, now. So this is where we're at. So now we have a very small partial seam to do, right? So essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to pick up that first one, and we're only going to go half, like a 1/2 inch. Now, I know some of you are going to go, oh my God, that's going to be horrible trying to hold that, but not really. So we go in 1/2 inch, we stitch back, forward, and out. Here, oops. I'll grab my little, I'll do it that way. I'll do it this way. Okay. So that's going to be horrible to hold on to. Well, there's items called tweezers that we can hold on to this when it gets too close to the needle. So I'm going to fold this just like this. I'm going to fold it under. So I want the dark under because I don't want the dark shadow making a shadow there. So then I'm just going to go like this next because I want the dark to go in on itself, right? I'm going to line it up. And now we're doing 4 full seams across. And we're making sure that dark stays pressed in on itself. Just so everything lies lovely and flat. Because, yeah, that's important. Okay. So now this gets pressed to the dark, just like that. And it goes here, right? So you can see what I'm doing, right? And then this comes out just like that. Now I think I'm going to sew it from this side because I want to make sure those seams don't get twisted around. There we go. And I'm going to match at the end. Make sure everything stays the way you want it to go. Here we go. Okay. Last seam. Okay, I'm just going to press that one up to the dark. And last seam, the last long seam. Let me make that clear. The last long seam goes like this, and you want to pull that out of the way. You just want to move it out of the way. Get it going. Okay, I'm just going to move that there a little bit. Okay. So, again, there's nothing really difficult with this, right? Okay, now, it wasn't hard to fold out that other bit here out of the way. So now when you're doing this is the seam that's partial, right? Because it doesn't go all the way to the end. Well, you can do this a couple ways, right? You can start right here where this is, you can see where you finished, right? So we're going to risk it. I'm going to throw a pin in here too, just to make sure I'm matching the bottom, the outer edge matches. And this, if I'm sewing this way, right? Or if I'm sewing this way, this seam risks flipping. So I'm going to pin that seam in place with a really fine silk pin, right? So there, just like so. So I don't have to worry about this one because as I'm going through the machine, this is going the right direction already for this seam. If my machine is going this way, it's not going to flip on me. So let's just start just a little bit. Okay, let's go all the way up. Nice. Okay, as we get to the closer end, I just pull it out. And now I want to go all the way up to where I was sewed, back stitch, and go forward again. Okay, now I want to lift up my sewing machine a little bit and go just like so. There, and now I'm going to cut it off. And now we press this seam here to the dark, and that's how your seams are going to lay on the back of your block. So everything is going to be in towards the dark, and you don't see this at all from the front. Like, you know, if this low volume was really thin, you would see the colors if they went pushed out, but if you push them in, they work perfectly. So let's get to our ta-da moment. Okay, so here's that finished lesson on our partial seams. The cutting instructions are everything in the show notes below. It is unfinished 9.5. It'll finish 9 in your quilts, and everything lies perfectly flat on the back, right? Like when you start playing around with these, you can do this in other sizes, but essentially it doesn't matter how small this is, you only do half of it, right? So I think that might have been what was throwing her off. I'm not sure where the pattern she got it from or anything like that, but it's just a matter of sew only half of your partial seam, then sew into the partial seam. You have a better chance of getting a very flat surface that way. So I hope this lesson was fun for you guys. I do enjoy sewing flat seams, and I do enjoy viewer requests. So don't feel shy about, you know, hey, I need help with this or I need help with that. I would be delighted to help you. So until we meet each other again, I hope everything is going great for you. You have an absolutely fabulous week. So take care and stay well. Okay, bye. My husband and I would love to thank you for watching our video and being so supportive of our channel. This has been just such an amazing journey we're on here on YouTube, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without you. So our thanks, truly our thanks for you. If there's anything you need, don't be afraid to contact me either through the Facebook book or through email. I'm trying to do as many viewer request videos as possible, and if I don't do it, you need to remind me, okay? So that's not a problem. But yes, it's been just absolutely amazing. Make sure you tell your gills I speak for free. We have a Facebook group. We do Zoom sew dates. And we give out nothing but free patterns. So I hope that you have an absolutely joyful year ahead, and your sewing room, everything is going for you, and life is great. Okay, you take care until we see each other again. Okay, bye.